From the streets of Long Beach to a billion-dollar empire, this is how one man turned hustle into history. Before fame, he was just Calvin Broadus, a kid from Long Beach with big dreams. But through grit, genius, and reinvention, he became the world's most influential rapper entrepreneur.
What is it like having Snoop as a father, Corey?
What is it like having him as a father?
And here it starts, with the woman who stayed at his side. Shantae Broadus is the foundation of all Snoop built, not only his wife. Before recording contracts or becoming celebrities, they started dating as teenagers. The world saw the laid-back rap star, but she saw the visionary still seeking money. She remained by means of notoriety, hearsay, and reimagining. She had fingerprints on every significant step, from death row to corporate enterprises. Shantae reminded Snoop, behind the smoke and light, that no empire lasts without loyalty at its foundation. Before the renown, before the myth, there was just Calvin Cortazar Broadus Jr., born in Long Beach, California in 1971. Growing up in a home that was more hustle than comfort. When Calvin was just a few months old, Vernell, his father, left. His mother, Beverly, wed Cortazar Broadus Sr. He earned his alias, Snoopy, because he was fixated on the Peanuts television series. Already in his blood, music was sung in church choirs, played on the piano, and filled silent nights with rhythm. Though no one knew it then, those early tunes would develop into the pulse of hip-hop itself.
You ready for pressure? Let's work. Let's go. Pressure, go.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out where I should go, Snoop.
Go.
I'm just trying to
Go.
And this part, this is where the story turns real. Long Beach in the late 80s wasn't a playground. It was survival. Snoop sold candy and bagged groceries just to help his family. But as he hit his teens, the pull of the streets grew stronger. He joined the Rollin' 20s Crips, a decision that could have ended everything before it started. Yet, even there, people noticed something different. The way he talked, the way he carried himself. Calm, smooth, magnetic. His voice had power. It told stories. Those stories, filled with pain, loyalty, and rhythm, would later define West Coast rap. But then came the crash. Right after high school, Snoop got arrested for cocaine possession. 3 years in and out of jail. For most, that would have been the end. But for him, it was the wake-up call. Behind bars, he started writing lyrics. Honest, raw, and full of life's contradictions. When he got out, he linked up with his cousins Nate Dogg and Lil Half Dead and best friend Warren G. They called themselves 213, the Long Beach area code. That small crew would soon shake up the entire rap world, because what came next changed everything. And this is the turning point that changed everything. Somehow, one of Snoop's handmade freestyles, a raw song called Hold On, found its way to a legend, Dr. Dre. The time was just right. Dre was looking for a new sound to distinguish the West Coast after having left NWA. He understood he had found it the second he heard Snoop's calm, unhurried rhythm. Dre invited him to the studio, and their chemistry was quick. Snoop floated instead of just rapping. Under Dre's guidance, he mastered the exact sculpting of melodies, transforming unedited rhythm into timeless classics. From their collaboration came Doggystyle, their first album that not only topped charts, but also helped to define a whole period. By then released in 1996, The Dogfather was unapproachable. But beyond the celebrity, Death Row was simmering with turmoil. Snoop realized he had to act before the empire crumbled.
It's the one and only Digo Double G.
And that's when Snoop pulled off one of the smartest moves in rap history. Leaving Death Row wasn't just survival. It was evolution. He signed with Master P's No Limit Records, proving he wasn't chained to any one style or label. Between 1998 and 2000, he dropped The Game Is to Be Sold, Not to Be Told, No Limit Top Dog, and The Last Meal. Each project blended his gangster roots with commercial genius. He wasn't just a rapper anymore, he was a brand. His flow got smoother, his reach wider. Suddenly, Snoop wasn't just a West Coast icon, he was a global name. He'd turned street fame into a strategy, and the world was starting to see it.
So much drama in the LBC, it's kinda hard being Snoop D.
And then, a spiritual rebirth. In 2012, Snoop took a life-changing trip to Jamaica. Immersed in Rastafarian culture, he returned as Snoop Lion, dropping the reggae album Reinvented and a documentary to match. This wasn't just a rebrand, it was a statement. The same laid-back rapper who'd ruled the West Coast streets was now preaching peace, love, and redemption. Fans saw a new side, reflective, soulful, and message-driven. Money and fame still mattered, but now there was depth, purpose, and a vision beyond the charts. Snoop had reinvented himself yet again, proving evolution was his superpower. Just as you thought he'd reached his summit, Snoop turned once more to business. He rode the legal marijuana wave in 2015, putting money into Ease, a California weed delivery firm. Soon after, he released Leafs by Snoop, which included edibles, concentrates, and top-notch strains. Snoop, however, started Merry Jane, a digital media hub honoring cannabis culture, and therefore not stopping there. His influence extended to television, film, and even reality shows like Martha and Snoop's Potluck Dinner Party. Street stardom evolved into corporate power, demonstrating that he was not merely a rapper, but rather a brand builder influencing society and industry. Snoop's dominion is in buildings and land, as well as in music. His first California house, purchased for $660,000 in 1994, was his initial hint of achievement. He had moved up to a Mediterranean-style mansion worth $2 million by 2000, featuring a gourmet kitchen and luxury suites. His home for 2 decades, and he later bought a 3,800 square feet Diamond Bar mansion worth $1.7 million. Then came his last move in 2019, a $5 million Chatsworth house with 6 bedrooms, 8 baths, a spa, a pool, and a private office library. Every property charted his ascent from Long Beach hustler to sector mogul. Naturally, wheels are essential to any Snoop kingdom. His automobile collection is a moving tribute to California life. Crown jewel? Add a vintage Chevy Impala convertible, a sleek Oldsmobile Cutlass, and more. Each ride is a statement. And the lime green Snoop DeVille is a Cadillac lowrider dripping with West Coast flair. These vehicles represent roots, craftsmanship, and identity rather than simply speed or gloss. Vehicles in Snoop's world are cultural milestones, encapsulating the essence of a life that changed from local legend to world icon. They are not possessions.
Stay calm, I'ma start the bomb.
And through every twist and turn, family remains his anchor. Snoop and Shantae raised 4 kids while navigating fame, temptation, and relentless pressure, keeping their bond strong. Cousins with Brandy, Ray J, and WWE star Sasha Banks, talent clearly runs deep in the Broadus bloodline. Even during his brief stint as a real estate broker in 2003, Snoop chose family over fortune. Stepping away to be present at home speaks volumes. It shows that behind the sunglasses, the chains, and the fame, he's a dad first, a husband always, and a man defined by love as much as by success. Snoop Dogg constructed a multi-billion-dollar business from recording studios to street corners, from markets to the microphone. Music, marijuana, media projects, and real estate. Every action meticulously created, genuine, and long-lasting. Longevity is what distinguishes him, not riches or notoriety. Decades in the spotlight, yet he reinvents without losing his core. He altered rap and also redefined success, demonstrating that power results from how you develop rather than from where you begin. Snoop's narrative shows how vision, flexibility, and heart are the blueprints for anyone wishing to transform effort into legacy and a source of real impact. Snoop Dogg's journey isn't just hip-hop history, it's human history. From the streets of Long Beach to global superstardom, fueled by love, faith, and reinvention. Inspired by this rise from struggle to success? Hit like, share this story, and subscribe for more incredible journeys like Snoop's.